BAYC has the Kennel Club and Mutants. Azuki now has Beanz. What are Beanz?
Well, we're going to find out today. We are going to go deep into the world of Beanz, what they are, how we feel about them, and what the future holds for Azuki fans. You do not want to miss today's show. Welcome to Goats and the Metaverse. It's always a good morning when Ethereum is up and ETH is up $3,138. Feels like just yesterday it was at $2,900. So there's a little bit of a rally happening in the crypto market. And how is that reflecting in our daily floor price check-in? Stanley, what is happening with the blue chips?
The blue chips are up, my friend. A lot of green arrows on the board, led by our friends at BAYC. Mutants are up 31.5. BAYC is almost at 120. This is a record-breaking number.
All-time high, 128.
All-time high. And the question is, are we going to slow down? Nobody knows. We know that land is coming. The other side is coming. ApeCoin is pumping. I don't know. Nobody knows. Or
well,
maybe
we are going to do another show dedicated to the world of ApeCoin, the other side, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and what we think we know from all the rumors that are out there. So stay tuned for our next show that we'll be putting out on that specifically. But let's go into the other big news of the town. Talk about Beanz. Azuki's something official, big reveal. Is there Beanz? Stanley, what do we know about Beanz?
Beans are small species that sprout from the dirt. There's a whole big story about beans. Personally, I'm not a big Azuki fan, and yes, I'm not. I get it, but I'm not in love with it, just like everybody else is.
I'm a big fan. I hold 20 of them, so I'm a big believer.
You're a big believer. But yeah, they're the sidekick. They're going into the world that they're going to be building, and they're, I don't know. I don't really like them. I don't really like the artwork. I don't really know if it's worth 5 Ethereum. You could give a much more educated answer. What are Beanz, and why should somebody care?
Well, let's talk about the artwork first and foremost. There's a lot of comments about whether Beanz are cool or not. One of Azuki's principles is that it needs to be, I can't remember the word, is it groovy, funky, sick? Basically, it needs to be cool. And people are saying, this isn't cool. Well, some people are saying this isn't cool. And then other people are saying, well, if you understand the world of merchandising, if you understand the world of character development, simple character designs are the ones that sell. That people would look at these characters, they would look at a Hello Kitty and say, is the Hello Kitty art really good? But, well, you could say it isn't, but it is a multi-billion-dollar brand. What about Simpsons? What about all the kind of iconic brands that you think of? They're pretty simple in design, but those are the things that stick. And the Azuki team is leaning towards that, is what people are saying. They think it is genius. But let's go into what, outside of the art, what is Beanz and what are they trying to do? At least what are they signaling? So one thing we know is that you can pair your Beanz with your Azuki. As what they say, the story evolves without changing the actual NFT. What does that mean? I'm unclear on how you pair those two together, but we did see that Azuki came out with a new standard for ERC 721, what they call the ERC 721A. So we know they have some real technical prowess, and maybe we'll be flexing that with how Beanz are revealed. Maybe. There are two types of beans. There's the red beans and blue beans. Red beans are called Toshi. And like most red beans, doesn't follow any rules given to him. This is the narrative that they're building. He makes his own way from the garden to the alley. Doesn't like to fight, but will bite if you try to tell him where he can and can't skate. Blue beans can't seem to stay out of trouble. If you hear an Azuki yell out in anger, you will soon see this guy scurrying away. They love Azukis. It's too much fun to piss them off. Blue beans haven't been named, and the community is going to be able to name them. You have a question, Stanley.
I mean, the guy peeing looks like that T-shirt from back in the day when it was the guy peeing, like the little thing. You know, you go to Hibachi.
Yeah,
the guy you pull his pants down and he's peeing. Not really original there. Sorry.
Could say it's not original. A little Bart Simpson-esque peeing. But they say good artists copy, great artists steal, and that may be what is happening over here right now. There are no discernible differences in stature between all types of beans, but they do hint to accept, and in the tweet says redacted. We don't know what that means, so there could be something. Maybe there'll be a spirit type bean or a gold type bean. We don't know. And the shape of these beans are rumored to be a perfect canvas for future collaborations with artists. A collectible toy, some might say. And don't tell that to the beans. They are short-tempered and known to bite. This is all coming out of the Azuki official tweet storm revealing the beans. Initial reaction from the market was of disappointment. We saw the pre-reveal price of these beans going down. I think pre-announcement they were sitting at about 5.5, sometimes close to 6. They dropped down all the way to close to 4 and are back up to 4.99. So some people paper handing their beans, saying, well, this isn't cool, I'm not excited about this, and others, as time has progressed, starting to build on the narrative of what this could mean and why you shouldn't bet against the beans. We've seen both Azuki floor price and the beans price slowly climb up as more news has spread. Clearly, there is big competition in the space now between almost 3 frontrunners. We have Moonbirds, we have Azuki, and we have the Apes as the 3 big name brands. What I find most surprising out of all of this is that punks are nowhere. No one talks about punks anymore. And we've seen the floor price of punk continue to go down. And in my book, that is something to look at, because that could be a great opportunity to come in and swoop in on the punks as the original OGs. We talk about the goats, and maybe those are still the place to look. Outside of the punks, let's talk beans, Stanley. You're still not a believer.
I'm not a believer, but I have a question. I mean, you're a big Azuki holder, big fan. And once again, none of this is financial advice. Do your own research. Let's call it, if you want to be exposed to the Azuki universe, do you think Beans is a good buy at 5 Ethereum for a way to get yourself in? Azuki's sitting at what? I think 27, 28, something in that ballpark. Not everybody wants to go ahead and spend that money.
Yep.
But they want to have the exposure just in case this could become one of these projects that's going to go head to head with the AYC, where, a lot of big fans believe that it does. I personally do not. Is Beans a good buy at 5 Ethereum?
Well, it depends on your view of where you're comparing it to. So do you think this is the Bored Ape Kennel Club comparison for the apes? Or is this the comparison of a mutant in ape land? And if you look at mutants today, they're sitting at 31 ETH. So they've done extremely well. The Bored Ape Kennel Club, I think, is sitting at around about 7. The artwork is very different, but it all depends what Azuki comes in with and how much focus they put onto these beans. Why is Mutant sitting at a 30 ETH price point? Well, that's because Bored Ape Yacht Club and Yuga Labs have made some strategic decisions about them. You got ApeCoin for holding a mutant ape. You're potentially going to be able to buy land in the inner ring, in the other side, having a mutant. All of those decisions have pushed up the price of the mutants. So they're clearly signaling that the prodigy or the number one is apes, then it is mutants. It depends how Azuki does that. I, for one, think it is a good trade. You're sitting at a 5-to-1 floor price difference between buying into an original Genesis Azuki relative to a bean. And if you think that Azuki has a chance of becoming a 30, 40, 50 ETH floor price project, potentially more, well, then you've got a much cheaper entry point to be able to get some of that upside, and beans will probably move in that same direction from there. So for me, I would be buying into beans at this kind of price if you want exposure to the Azuki universe.
You heard it here first. Beans is a buy. Beans is a buy. Look, I mean, once again, I think what they're doing is interesting. I think there is a chance that this could potentially become immune. I don't see it. I mean, I like the fact that they're saying these beans could communicate with each other, and there's going to be other functionality that's going to come in. I like what you're saying from a technology standpoint of view. They're doing something that is completely different. So there is that possibility that this could be potentially something big. But I don't know. I mean, you know, they say you gotta buy what you love. Personally, I'm not a fan, and it's a pass for me.
Well, you heard it here. That is the great debate. We hope you enjoyed this show, learned a little bit about Beanz, and as usual, we are here to help you navigate the space, have some fun, and learn about NFTs in the metaverse. In that process, don't forget to subscribe to the show. We do have our big giveaway coming up, $70,000. So hit that subscribe button, and we will see you again later.